Oh, no.
No.
Oh, okay.
Recording. They need to update the photo they used in the newspaper.
Yeah. Right.
Short
Man.
hair back then.
A little different. Pre-COVID, probably.
Good morning. We now call this city council meeting to order. We ask that if you have a cell phone that you would, at this time, if you'd be so kind as to put it on silent, mute, or off, it would be greatly appreciated. We'll be led in prayer by Madam Clerk, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk.
O God of might, wisdom and justice, through whom authority is rightly administered, laws enacted and judgment decreed, assist us, we beseech thee, that this city council may be conducted in righteousness and be eminently useful to thy people over whom we preside. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh. Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams.
Here.
Morgan.
Present.
Roots.
Here.
Mayor Kirkland.
Present. Move for the approval of minutes.
Second. You gonna move it?
Move.
Second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams.
Yes.
Morgan.
Yes.
Roots.
Abstain. I wasn't here.
Mayor Kirkland.
Yes. Just to remind folks, if they would like to address council, mayor and council, please sign your name and your proper address on the sign-in sheet. The only way folks will be able to address mayor and council if they sign their names and their proper appropriate address. At this time, we will put the microphones for public comments on the agenda items only. If you have a public comment on the agenda item only, please. Hearing or seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Resolution, whereas the following individual has requested a handicap parking zone. Lorna Campbell, 710 Ward Street, Chester, PA, 19013. And whereas, after a thorough investigation by the Department of Public Works, it has been determined the aforementioned individual has met all of the required criteria and have a need for said handicap parking zone. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the proper city officials to install a handicap parking zone in the 700 block of Ward Street in the City of Chester.
Second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby appoint Thelma Evans to the position of Residential Housing Inspector, Health Department, effective November 10th, 2022, for 37.5 hours per week, with all benefits applicable. Said individual has successfully completed the 60-day probationary period. Further, said individual has 90 days from the original appointment date to obtain the certification required for the position.
Move.
Second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby appoint Stephanie Moy to the position of Human Resource Director, Department of Accounts, Finance, and Human Resources, effective December 5th, 2022, for 37.5 hours per week with a 60-day probationary period.
Move.
Second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby appoint Karen Thompson to the position of Accounts Payable Coordinator, Department of Accounts, Finance, and Human Resources, effective November 10th, 2022, for 37.5 hours per week with all benefits applicable. Said individual has successfully completed the 60-day probationary period.
Move.
A second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby grant permission and authorize the issuance of a road opening permit to PICO for the project at Washington Avenue from Glen Terrace to East 16th Street for the installation of 420 feet of new gas mains and transfer of services within city streets in accordance with the documents on file in the city engineer's office and under the following conditions. Number 1, PICO performs a half mill and overlay on all road openings exceeding 100 feet or 3 patches within 100 feet. Number 2, PICO provides appropriate traffic control measures to ensure continual operation of city streets. And number 3, PICO obtains all required road opening permits from the city as well as any other required permits. Further, said permit is contingent upon all work being performed in a manner that is satisfactory to City Council and PICO's compliance with all of the conditions as outlined by the city engineer.
Move.
Second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Roots?
Yes.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does approve and order payment of a series of bills and refunds as prepared by the Department of Accounts and Finance and is shown on expenditure approval list for the period of October 28th, 2022 and November 4th, 2022, attached hereto and made a part hereof, subject to approval from the Department of Accounts and Finance.
Move.
A second.
Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Roots?
No.
Mayor Kirkland?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
We now have our COVID update. Mrs. King and Ms. Carter.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The Pennsylvania Department of Health reported 36 positive COVID-19 cases in Chester since the last council meeting on October 26th. Research experts believe that the number of positive cases is undercounted given the common use of at-home tests. Delaware County is currently experiencing a medium level of COVID-19 transmission. According to the CDC, people may choose to mask at any time. Those at high risk for severe illness, those with symptoms, a positive test, or exposure to someone with COVID-19 should continue wearing a mask. The CDC has also reported 20 cases of monkeypox in the state of Pennsylvania since the last council meeting. COVID-19 vaccinations and boosters will be available on November 21st from 11 to 5 at the Delaware County Health Center located at 151 West 5th Street. Walk-ins are offered, but you are encouraged to schedule an appointment by calling 484-276-2100. You can also always go to vaccines.gov for the most up-to-date appointment availability for vaccines and boosters. Tomorrow, Thursday, November 10th, the health department will be partnering with the Department of Parks and Recreation to host a Veterans Day luncheon in Chester City Hall Community Room from 11 to 3. You can register by calling 610-876-6420. On Thursday, November 17th, there will be a grandparents Thanksgiving luncheon at 12. It will be held at Chester High School. On Friday, December 2nd, from 1 to 4, the Foundation for Delaware County, in partnership with Baby First Project Partners, will be showing a screening of the documentary Aftershock. The event will be held in person at Widener University's Alumni Auditorium, and light refreshments will be provided. If you would like more information on how to register for the event, please call 267 453 6976. Lastly, the health department will be hosting a health fair on December 8th from 10 to 2 in the Chester City Hall Community Room. We will send out a flyer when we have more information. Also, if anyone needs COVID-19 test kits, they are available on the tables downstairs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Thank you. This time we open up the microphones for public comments. If you have public comments, once again, we ask that you would sign in your name and your address. Mr. Crawford,
Yes, it is.
the Lone Ranger today.
Right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just a couple questions. Does Chester have the right to actually decide on what is actually built here? As an example, the actual prison here. Did Chester have the right to actually make a decision to say that the prison could be built here?
I can't speak historically, but going forward, Chester has a zoning code which lays out a plan for what can be built where. The state Supreme Court has ruled that municipalities can't prohibit legal uses, so they have to be accommodated somewhere within the municipality. But if someone comes with a plan that complies with the zoning code and complies with the building or subdivision land development ordinance, then no, Chester can't tell them your use is legal, but you can't put it here. But if they come with a use that it violates the zoning code, then they would have to go to the zoning board for relief, or they would be administratively denied.
Would the people of Chester have any kind of recourse to say, we don't want this here?
So if you're speaking specifically about the prison,
Yes.
then no, the deadlines have passed. Speaking to future uses that are hypothetical,
Right.
there's two ways that the public can have input. Number one, in the event that the city were to change a zoning ordinance, they'll advertise those changes,
Right.
and there'll be a public comment and a public hearing before those changes are made. Number two, if you live in close proximity to a use that's going to be proposed, you can you have a right to participate in the hearings if you live close enough. If it's a use that's permitted by right, then there's not a whole lot that can be done. You can examine the permits and make sure that that no mistakes were made, and if you think a mistake was made, you can file an appeal. If it's someone who's coming to propose a use that's not permitted by the zoning ordinance, then the zoning hearing board will hold a hearing, and you can come and if if you want to give public comment, you can give public comment, and if you can prove that you live in very close proximity and you have an interest greater than that of the general public, you can ask for what's called party status, in which case you can have an attorney, you can cross-examine witnesses, you can present witnesses and present evidence of your own.
Okay. So the last question would be that if the people of Chester do not want that actual plant that is being proposed down off of actually 291, the actual LNG place, if they meet all requirements, we basically have no power to stop them.
If they meet the requirements of the zoning ordinance and the subdivision and land development ordinances, then the city does not have the ability to stop it, no.
So if they wanted to, just as the last comment here, if they wanted to actually put a pile of interns, something, let's just say, right in someone's parking lot, the city's parking lot, or the vacant lot, because they own that lot, then as long as it meets the actual criteria, even though it's an eyesore, maybe, whatever, the only way to stop it would be to actually protest about it. That's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, you could implore the owner to put a different use there, or to make accommodations to try and make it a less intrusive use.
Mhm.
But for example, back here in your retail district, if somebody wanted to put in a Halloween store and you thought that was an inappropriate use of the building, it's zoned for retail, and as long as they comply with the requirements of that, then the city can't pick and choose. We don't want a Halloween store, we'd rather have a jewelry store, so we're going to deny your permit.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Carter, before you go,
Yes.
you said something about liquid gas.
Yes.
So your question specifically focuses on the liquid gas.
Yes, it does.
Mr. Carter, we haven't had a conversation. This mayor and council have not had a conversation with liquid gas persons for quite some time.
Mhm.
We do entertain different type of businesses that might want to come and be a part of this community. We will listen. We will provide them with our input. Also, before anything like that ever happens, if it were to happen, or if we were to entertain it any further, we would make sure that the community is involved and invited in those conversations.
Okay. That would be very good. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Daylight savings time. Councilman Williams?
I'd like to say good morning. And I have been reading over the agreement that the receiver has made and signed. And under that, you are violating our rights. You have violated them. There's no way in the world that 80% of the people that come here in this city deserve to have the right to take away our rights. So to me, by you signing that, you took away our civil rights. It's called discrimination. When you came up with the percentage, 85% of the people that live on the outside get them rights that you signed on the dotted line with the college. That's discrimination. There are 30,000 people live here in the city of Chester, okay? And we represent them. They should have been known that you were signing and got the okay from them to sign that letter that you signed. But not only that, you sign our rights away, but you sign also giving them, that you said, the people that you signed a letter for, by giving them the rights to discriminate against us. Yeah, under the 14th Amendment, all men are created equally. When you did that, you took my rights away. Yes. And I want the city of Chester to know that what you did was wrong. Okay? You disrespected the citizens here in the city of Chester. And I want, and I asked you before, but you keep denying me. Yes, I need you to have a meeting and read out what you wrote in that agreement that you signed. And then you'll see how you violated everybody's rights that live here in the city of Chester. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Roots?
Lighten this up a little bit. On Saturday from 11 to 1, down on the waterfront, Youth Development United is the name of the organization. They're having what's called a Chester Bike Rodeo. These are bicycles, the kind that you pedal. They're giving away over 100 bicycles to youth. If you have a bicycle and want to learn how to fix them, modify them, bring your bike down there, they do recommend that you register. So I've just had our public what's Amanda's title? Public Communications Director. She has posted the flyer back on Facebook, so it's on the top. So for those of you who can go to City of Chester News and Information page, you'll see the flyer. It's free to sign up. If you have youth who like to ride bicycles, they're literally giving away bicycles on Saturday from 11 to 1 down on the waterfront between the stadium and the wharf building. And I understand there's going to be a whole bunch of helmets given out as well. So please take advantage of that.
Thank you, Councilman Morgan.
Yes, I just have one comment or announcement. We, the City of Chester, partnering with the Machi team and Entrepreneurs of the Future, where we're looking to hold some form of a miniature Shark Tank for children and youth here in the City of Chester, ages 9 to 18. We're trying to provide entrepreneurship of the future of the youth of the City of Chester, offering grand prizes to the winner of the group of the application. We'll take them through courses of businesses, let them learn about business, entrepreneurship, the do's and don'ts. We'll also, depending on how far the individual goes with their business or with their project or what they're proposing to do, we'll also get them licensed in a state with their articles of incorporation, all of their business information, so that they can be able to propel forward and hopefully be able to use that business in the future for themselves. So the deadline to apply is by this Friday. This has been out on our social media platforms for about a week or so now. We're running up against the holidays. The individuals will be going through a course. I want to say it'll be twice a week over the next 6 or 8 weeks with the contractor. Again, you can apply or have your niece, nephew, child apply at eofthefuture.org. And again, they'll just have to put their application in, tell us what the business is, and eventually they'll have to create a 2-minute video. Myself and some others will be judges of the Shark Tank type of model. So very exciting. We've gotten a lot of feedback from it. It's something that we've kind of took the blueprint from another city here in the Commonwealth. And the Machi team has been doing some great work here in the city of Chester as well. So with the funding of the grant, in a partnership with Entrepreneurs of the Future, I think it's going to be a great project and program for us to do this year, and hopefully to be able to continue to do for the next entrepreneur of the city of Chester. So again, it's a Become a Boss Youth Edition from ages 9 to 18. It's for business startups and consultation fees and things like that. Deadline to apply is November 11th, this Friday, and you'll apply at eofthefuture.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. First, let me quickly say congratulations to those employees who have stepped up to the plate and filled some of the positions that were made available. We appreciate your hard work here and your willingness to continue to work on behalf of the citizens here in the city of Chester. You're greatly appreciated. We are also, on our next council meeting, we'll be recognizing our very own Coach Bell. Coach Bell coaches our high school football team. They have done extremely well, and we're going to recognize them in a very, very, very nice way because of their efforts and because of their accomplishments. Also, we will be recognizing the members of the Philadelphia Union. Philadelphia Union, they may be named the Philadelphia Union, but we realize that just like Columbus, they landed right here in Chester. So therefore, we're going to recognize them as our team here in the city, a city of champions. And we feel that by honoring both Coach Bell and the Philadelphia Union, we're basically honoring our community and their commitments to our community. Good job, Commissioner. We had our trunk or treat. My grandson got sugared up. I meant to drop him off at your house. But, but they had the kids and the adults had a great time at the trunk or treat held at the police station. The commissioner and the law enforcement personnel were there. Kids were there. The parents were there. This is, and I have to say it, this has been a extremely productive summer for all of our children and even our adults. If anybody sees it differently, let me know. But this has been an extremely productive summer for all of our residents, and I'm proud and pleased to be able to say that. Also, I want to thank our firefighters. I got a knock on my door the other day, a couple of days ago, and you only see it on TV when a young lady came to my door and she said, there is a cat stuck in the tree that's been stuck in the tree for 4 days. I didn't know cats could stay stuck in the tree for 4 days, but this cat happened to be in the tree for 4 days, and we called our fire department, and our firefighters went up the tree, and I guess the cat had been up there 4 days because he or she made no effort to kind of scratch the firefighter. Matter of fact, they jumped in his arms as if to say thank you. It's something that you don't see every day, but to see our firefighters come out to the park and rescue a kitten and watch the residents kind of applaud them was nice. It was nice to know that we can call on them for just about anything. So my hat's off to both our fire department and our police department for all the good work that you continue to do. Thank you, Ms. Carter, and thank you, Ms. King, for always providing us with the updates that we so desperately need here in our community. If all hearts and minds are clear, this council meeting is now adjourned.